born in Ambarawa on May 6, 1929. His name was Bilyarta. It's fairly unique name for the Java at that time. The name was given by his grandfather, named Mangunwijaya, because at the time of his birth, his father was caught playing billiards.
His father, Julianus Sumati Mangunwijaya, is an educator. He had been the principal of an elementary school in Muntalan, Central Java, and the principal of elementary high school, Pandawa Canisius in Magelang. His mother named Serafin Kamdania, she is kindergarten teacher. Both of his parents are the second generation of Catholic Javanese, which classify as religious people.
Meanwhile, his parents' grandparents are adherents of Muslim tradition.
From the research carried out during the making of the novel and documentary film about Romo Mangun, it was found that there were two major pillars that shaped Romo Mangun's personality, namely religion and education.
Disconnection from tradition and social environment also influences his character growth.
Call it enlightenment.
The first enlightenment occurred in the field of religion. Even though his grandfather and grandmother were Javanese who were traditionally Muslim, Mangun's parents were devout Catholics. This spirit of tolerance has helped shape his personality as a person who really appreciates diversity. Second enlightenment, education. Not only education at school. Education in the family environment also shaped Father Mangun's character from childhood.
The advice of his father made a deep impression on Father Mangun's memory.
This life is not just rice and money, therefore we have to look for what is true. Coming out of the collective consciousness of feudal Javanese society, then Romo Mangun moved into more mature spaces of thought. After completing his elementary school in HIS Muntlan, he was continuing in Yogyakarta at Technical High School Jeddah, majoring in electrical engineering, the favorite among students at that time. When he hadn't yet completed his education at Technical High School Jeddah, the War of Independence flared up almost in all regions of Indonesia, no exception in Yogyakarta. In the end, Bilyarta came home to Magelang. Driven by his youthful passion, Bilyarta has decided to join the student army. He joined the 10th Battalion of the 3rd Division, Genie Commission under the leader of Major Soeharto. At the first months, he was only assigned to guard the gates at the Vryburg Fort in front of Indonesia Presidential Building in Yogyakarta. After that, he was seconded to guard the dorm in Kota Baru, Yogyakarta. Historical moments, that's how he called his years in the army, and participate in the battle in Yogyakarta, Ambarawa, Magelang to Maragan Endemic Regency, southwest of the city of Semarang. In an essay he wrote about his experience while was a student army. He admitted he saw a lot of incidents he never saw before. He wrote it in the book which was given by his father, Mr. Sumati.
Apa dari kalian yang tahu mata-mata yang membakar kebun itu? Ngaku! Siapa?
Records of events during the war have been imprinted on Father Mangun's memory. That's the third enlightenment, which opens more awareness of the bitterness of war and all conflicts. In the end, it will suffer lots of people, especially the commoners. After the end of the Dutch military aggression, Bilyarta is continuing his education. He chose the St. Albertus Catholic High School in Malang City, East Java. known as Senior High School Dempo. Malang City has developed his thinking process into more mature. Besides being active in youth organizations, Bilyarta began to enjoy reading about politics and movements.
One of his favorite figures at that time is Sudan Shahrir. Sudan Shahrir is a socialist, and Father Mangun had the belief that those who were on the side of the people were socialist. In many ways, Father Mangun is socialist himself.
There's another quite important enlightenment in Bilyarta's life. It happened in 1950. At the time, Bilyarta and friends attend the Independence Party, which is held in Malang City Square. They were listening to the speech of Major Isman, the commander of Indonesia's student army. That's uplifting. Major Isman spoke in his speech. "Don't hail us soldiers, because we are pitiful people. We have killed, tortured and burned people. We have robbed. I wish everyone could pray for us, soldiers, so we could go back to the righteous path." Father Mangun has witnessed as the soldiers have taken away the crops from the peasants. They took their crops on their way, and they were selling the crops for their own benefits.
Demi keamanan, kami akan menyita tembakau ini.
Pak, ampun Pak. Ampun Pak. Ampun Pak. Di sekolah itu banyak yang dia lihat apa-apanya.
In the end, war teaches many things. There are many people becoming the victims of the war. They were not only tortured by the Dutch, but also by their fellow natives.
All the bitter events during the war began influence Bilyarta's feeling and thought. There was a huge feeling of guilt that haunted him for months, compounded by Major Isman's speech that he had heard. Several times, Bilyarta tried to tell his teacher about his anxiety, until finally, he made a big decision to change the course of his life, a choice that may have never been considered before, namely leaving worldly things and entering a Catholic monastery.
Finally, Father Mangun has decided to join the seminary, just because he really wants to help the commoners. In 1951, it's the first time for Bilyarta to step in Code Seminary, or have known it by the name, the Intermediate Seminary Kota Baru, Yogyakarta.
He went straight into the 5th grade, because he had attended high school before.
He learned it in Code Seminary just for 1 year. After that, Bilyarta moves to Mertoyudan Seminary.
After the building was restored and being blessed by Archbishop Soejapranata on December 8, 1952.
His times in Mertoyudan ended in 1953. After that, he continued to St. Paul Major Seminary in Yogyakarta until the year of 1959.